I'm getting on here sharing the word from the Lord for Chicago, and also be prophesying about Marcus Rogers as well. But like I said in the last video, he's not having me write this stuff down, so I'm just gonna speak what he's been telling me about Chicago. So basically, what he was telling me is that Chicago finna have a revival. You know, a lot of people coming to Christ, and he said Marcus Rogers would be a big part of that. Now, I don't know how this gonna be or when, but he said Marcus Rogers would be like, it would almost be like he would almost be like an overseer, like over these things, like like making sure people doing it. Like what Marcus Rogers, what he was showing me is like Marcus Rogers is like an officer in the spirit. Like he keeps people in check and also makes sure people doesn't go out of their own boundaries. But he also checks himself, but he makes sure people don't go outside their own boundaries when they come to, doing the work of the Lord, make sure people ain't spreading false doctrines and all this stuff. And what he was showing me is like people, like a lot of people leaving the streets. What he's showing me right now is like people that's gonna be like finna go do drills in Chicago, or people that's finna go kill somebody, or people that's finna just do some crazy things. He said a lot of them finna have encounters with him at that exact moment. Like they gonna see angels in the streets, and like just, they gonna see some crazy, it ain't crazy, but they gonna think it's crazy. They gonna be seeing like some stuff, like encounters. And he said, Lord, he finna start revealing himself more to people in Chicago. Like they gonna start sending angels, like, just, a lot of spiritual things that's finna happen. And he said he finna have like a lot of people just leave the streets. Like you gonna see people going to church talking about they was some people probably gonna just kill somebody like the day before and save, ask God to save his life the next day type stuff, But yeah, Lord's telling me a lot of people finna be saved in Chicago. Let me see. What else was it? I hear something about cars. I guess he's gonna bless people with cars, but let me see. Oh, he said many people look down on Chicago because of the violence, but he said I have my people praying for Chicago. He said there's a lot of people in Chicago that's praying for the city, and he said he gonna put some type of government system over there. Like I guess he gonna change out this, the mayor and stuff like that, or he said in the governmental system over there. He said he gonna flush out all the bad stuff and put people in there that's gonna really do his will in Chicago. What he's showing me is Chicago gonna be like a city. Really the whole state of Illinois is gonna be like a state that's really serving the Lord. And he said you're gonna see a lot of people doing Jesus marches, in Chicago. What else he saying? Oh, he said deliverance is gonna break through as well. Deliverance is gonna break through in Chicago. What else he saying? Oh, he said your children are protected. So I know some of you may wonder, been praying about your kids, or y'all be wondering, if they gonna be protected when they outside. This is for people in Chicago. You be praying that they be protected. So he said your children are protected. He said no harm shall come to them. And what I see is like angels standing guards at certain people's houses, like they in the front, like imagine your front door outside on the steps or something. They just standing there, standing guard. And what I see, like angels dragging demons down the streets, and it's like a big old portal in the middle of the street, and the angels are dumping demons in there, like they dragging the demons back to, they throwing them to the abyss. He said it's a lot of warfare going on, but he said just know the enemy's hands, the enemy's numbers are weak. So The Lord is flushing out the enemy's presence in Chicago. And what else? We said I see breakthrough too for Chicago as well. He said keep praying for Chicago. He said your prayers are heard. Let me see what else. Let me see. Oh, he said soon Chicago would be like a joyous city. Like Chicago will be like almost like a oasis, like a paradise place where people go to really celebrate things. You know, it would kind of be like Florida, but Chicago version. He said he getting rid of, like I said in the other video, the Lord said he's putting a lot of people in jail because he said he'd give them a chance to save their soul, you know, come to him instead of, you know, dying and not having a chance to repent and stuff like that. So that's why he's putting a lot of these people in jail. You know, he's getting rid of a lot of violence. He's moving, like the Lord is allowing people to really move people, like move certain people out of their places to, you know, replace the violence. Because to be honest, you gotta get rid of the old for the new to come in and change things. Because a lot of things Chicago, you know, went through is because of the system that was done when it was raised up. You know, you get raised up into the violence, you know, and stuff like that. So what the Lord's doing, he was like, it's not recycling, but it's like he removing it. It's like a 180 he's doing with Chicago. I also see, he said the police are going to be better at protecting you guys. I don't know if there would be like more police officers joining Chicago, but it's like the Lord, he's starting with the government system first. He's going to change up some things to make sure everything is right, you know, so then his will can truly be done once he put the right people in place. And what he's saying, and he said, pray for this lady. I don't know her name, but I don't know if she's y'all married or whatever. But she's she don't look the same. She look like she's on drugs or stressed out. She's I don't even know. She brown and her hair like this fall out. I don't know her name, but she runs Chicago, I guess. The Lord said pray for her. I guess he plans on moving her out of office. He gonna put a man in place. I believe it'll be a Caucasian man. That's what I see, a white middle-aged man that's gonna really be strict, you know, really help bring down some of the violence in Chicago. And I believe they're gonna put a ban on, let me see. Okay, what the Lord was just telling me, he said, Chicago is gonna put up some type of law that's gonna prevent people from selling guns. It's like it's gonna be harder to get a gun in Chicago because of, you know, what's going on. And he said what they're gonna start doing is they're gonna do something to remove guns off the streets, like from teenagers and stuff. I don't know what this law gonna be, but it's gonna be harder to get a gun in Chicago. And also they're gonna be, like I said, they're gonna be doing something to get the guns off the streets. Like I said, I don't know what this is, but that's what I see. Like a lot of teenagers, they're not even taking them to jail, they're just taking the guns. You know, but some of them may go to jail because you know how they be, but they just taking the guns that they have. And I see a lot of security being put up. Like you're gonna see more places with police officers, you know. Let me see what else. Oh, I see like a huge fire over Chicago. He said Chicago will be a place of my presence. And what else he was saying about Marcus Rogers? He was saying like how your kids, like he's showing me like your kids gonna oversee even you, like be greater than you. He's saying, he's showing me your kids like, I know they probably already do this, but discipling to people, you know, saving souls. I don't know, I see like 2 or 3 of them being super good at sports. Like I said, I don't know how many kids you got, but I see 8 or 10. I see 10 or 8. Let me see. the Lord said you're like Abraham, like a Abraham in this Christian community. He said you're birthing a lot of nations, from you and your wife. But he said you're like an Abraham. And he said a lot of people don't know this, but you pray for a lot of people. You pray for a lot of people. He said your heart is not like everybody else. He's like a lot of people put this image on you like you're mean and stuff, but it's like your heart is like of him. Like you literally have the heart of the Lord. Like, you feel what the Lord feels. You only say what the Lord tells you, you don't just, ridicule somebody or just talk about them, all these things. What else the Lord showing me? Because I used to have dreams as well about you just being in the car and preaching to me. And I had a dream of you, like, you had went to heaven, right? And you brought some angels back. It's like, I literally seen you float up to heaven. And then when you came back, you was like going down to earth with a sword in your hand, pointing at earth. And there's a bunch of angels falling behind you. This is a dream that I had. In a dream, it was a vision, and I seen that. So, but yeah, the Lord was showing me, Marcus Rogers, you're a leader, really sent by him. You know what I'm saying? He said a lot of people be talking about you, but they don't really know the truth. Like, they don't really know you. You know what I'm saying? The Lord knows you, but they don't really know you. A lot of people, he said, they don't like to be corrected. So that's why they say the things they say, and they try to judge you, because they don't like being corrected. And I see him blessing you with a large amount of money. I don't know where this will come from, but it's millions. I don't know if it will get in your bank account somehow, somebody will give it to you, or it will be from a business, but I see somebody blessing you with a large amount of money. I don't know if you've been planning on starting up something. I don't know what this is, but I see you trying to start up something. The Lord gonna bless you with the funds to do so. And he said it's gonna serve his community, it's gonna save a lot of souls. Let me see. And he said, okay. Ooh, what? I just felt that fire, but the Lord just said, prepare for a new church. Like he said, that place that you in is too small. He said he gonna give you a mega church. And the church I seen, it looks like, not an auditorium, but you know how some of the comedy shows, you see people sitting up top. That's the type of church I seen. You had like a mega church. It was super big. The stage was big, and you was like small compared to how big that stage was. I said, take it to the Lord, but that's just what I seen. The Lord said your church is too small. He said, prepare for a bigger church. Now, I don't know if he's been putting that on you, but he said, don't worry, the funds will be in your pocket. And I see, he just showed me a Rolls Royce. Well, you in a Rolls Royce, so I don't know if he planned on giving you one or however, if you want one or not, but he just showed me you in a Rolls Royce. And I don't know if you deal with depression or whatever, like, or worry. I don't know, but the Lord said, don't worry. He's showing me your heart for his people. It's like you really, that's why I believe he said that. He said your heart is of him because you worry for his people. You worry about the church more than yourself. Like, and he said he sees the work you're putting in. He sees the hours you're putting in. And he said he's not taking it for granted. He sees everything you're doing. And he said he knows you're not just doing it for you, you're doing it for his people. He said, why you was sitting here. He said all the things you went through in life was for a reason. He said you don't know how many souls you have saved just from your music and the things you preach. He said you don't know. He said it's millions and millions. It's like you saved so many souls, and he said you still remain the same. You still love Jesus. You still, you may have your times. I don't know what you go through, like personally too deep, but he said you may have your times, but he said you never switched up. Like you never switched up since day one. The Lord is gonna, repay you for that, he said, you is what a lot of people should be, like, you know, how they should act. You said, it's like you're a representation of the church on how it should be, the order you put. He said, you're like a Paul. That's what I just seen. Like a Paul. That's what I just seen you like a Paul. But yeah, I believe that's it. If y'all can tag him in this video, make sure y'all watching these videos, because y'all don't be watching them. It showed me that I'm trying to get my watch time hours up so I can actually really get paid from YouTube, so I can at least make some funds. But if y'all can pray for me that I lost my license, so I don't know where it's at. So if y'all can pray that I find them, or if y'all can pray that I'm able to get these Texas license, and pray that because also Coinbase, they canceled my sell limits and didn't give me the money back. So y'all can pray for me about that. And if you feel led to sow in my channel, I got stuff in my bio. I got a registry as well for like certain stuff that I want in this crib. But yeah, that's it. Like I said, share and tag him in the video. And yeah, y'all be safe.